Welcome to About the Winelands. In this show, we will be chatting to leaders, influencers, wine producers, restaurants, and other role players. Tune in every week for our latest episode. You will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to About the Winelands. Today, I'm speaking to Cornelle Minie. Cornelle is the head chef and person in charge at the Longtable Restaurant at Haskell Vineyards. Hi, Cornelle, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you, Will?
I'm great. Did I introduce you correctly? Is that what you do? You are the head chef. What else? What else do you do at the Longtable Restaurant? You do everything.
I do everything. I'm a jack of all trades.
That's it. So, Cornelle, tell us a little bit about how did you get involved in the food industry, and how long have you been at the Longtable?
Well, I actually started studying sports science at Stellenbosch University, and I met a friend who studied hospitality, and I oddly enough went to more classes there than my actual classes. And I decided then maybe to go and try the whole cooking thing and see what it's all about. And I started at Silwood Kitchens in Rondebosch. And then 2006, I did my in-house training at Terroir Restaurant. And that, I think, is where my love for food and wine together started. And at Longtable, I've been now 2 years, yeah.
Okay, so how long were you at Terroir Restaurant?
It was just a year. Then I moved to Scotland for 3 years.
Oh my word, you're in Scotland.
I think it was the smallest town ever, Peebles.
Peebles, I've never heard of this. Close to.
It's about 30 minutes from Edinburgh.
Okay.
And then I decided to come back because I started missing good wine, good food. And then, yeah, this is where I am now.
How did you find the food and stuff like that in Scotland?
They deep fry everything. There was one shop that I saw that actually did a deep fried Mars bar, and that was the weirdest thing ever for me. But I suppose because of all the beer you're drinking, you need something to line the stomach with. But then I found a small little restaurant. They've got quite nice boutique hotels with their own gardens, which you forage from. And I think that's where my love for foraging came from, a love of a garden to grow your own food.
So can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Longtable Restaurant?
Well, the original farm was once a citrus farm, which later included a small coffee shop and a barn where hand-woven wool, jerseys and blankets were produced and run by the local ladies. I think Barbara told you about Cornelle, then opened a bistro, and she transformed the area here. By 2017, they started renovations on the new Longtable, opening up the space to make it feel like you're actually sitting in the vineyards. And before that, there was actually art exhibitions here. And now with the open restaurant, nature became the art. So that's pretty much where we are now.
If a guest come to the Longtable, what can they experience there?
Well, we've got so much to offer. I think you guys said it already. We inspire to celebrate the everyday moments that makes life extraordinary. So we believe that when you come to Haskell Vineyards, you need to make a day of it. Besides all the excellent wines we have, the great food, the accommodation, we also have hiking paths in and around the vineyards and a picnic lawn for that perfect summer's day. And then there's so much more to choose from. We actually cater for year-end functions, weddings, birthday parties, baby showers, kitchen teas. And then we try actually and cater for everyone's specific needs. So you get your own menu for the day.
That's what I wanted to ask you. So if somebody comes for a corporate event or for a wedding or whatever, you design a menu for them, right?
Yes, they can tell us exactly what they want, and then we try and work around it to make it the best possible day ever.
So how is it looking now with that after lockdown and stuff? Is that business picking up again?
Definitely. There's a lot of year-end functions coming in. The weddings, people still have their birthdays even in the pandemic. The baby showers are few and far behind, but they are there. And then we also look at winemakers' dinners where we go and take, for example, last year we went 10 years back. So we grabbed all the wines from 2009 and we paired a dish with every wine. And then guests can come and sit here. They can drink vintage wines, taste the food that pairs with it perfectly, and then make a night of it.
And in the winemaker, you would be there and give them a little bit of background on everything. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Rudolph is here to explain each and everything, and then I explain everything from the food side.
So I suppose your the synergy between you and Rudolph is very important in actually making your restaurant work.
Yeah, if I do a new menu, we taste it, and he sits in normally, and then we actually taste the wine with the food, so that the two of us can combine completely together.
Okay. So do you have on your menu suggestions with every dish what people should be drinking?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Okay. I also see you do food and wine pairing as an event, or you sell a food and wine pairing where people can come and have a wine tasting with food for the day. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
The gourmet food and wine pairing is for the wine tasting side, where we take normally 4 dishes from the current menu, and then we try and pair it with 3 Dombeya wines and 1 Haskell wine. So for ours now, we're doing a ceviche, the goat cheese and lemon ravioli, the lamb shoulder, and a dark chocolate and olive oil cake. So I've paired that with the Sauvignon Blanc, the Chardonnay, the Merlot, and then I brought in the Haskell too, which, by the way, is a really nice wine.
So what is your favorite thing to make? Are you more of a cook or more of a baker? Which one is your preference?
I'm more of a cook. I don't have the patience to bake,
Okay.
and and I hate measuring stuff. So cooking for me is a lot easier. You can add a little bit here, add a little bit there, taste it. No, it needs something. But baking, yeah, I just don't have the patience for it.
So
But that's why I have staff who can do it.
well, that helps, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a secret in any business or any venture.
Yes.
You have people that can do everything is obviously the ultimate. You can just manage it and make sure that all the quality is right. But I suppose it doesn't really work that way in a restaurant. You still have to be hands-on.
Yes, definitely.
The restaurant. I remember with my talk with Barbara, the restaurant actually is quite a big place where wines are sold. It's a big. Tell us a bit more of the wines that it's selling at the restaurant.
At the restaurant, at the moment we are selling our own wine that we produce on the farm, which is the Dombeya and the Haskell range. And then we also try and support small entrepreneurs like Carstens from Migliarina Wine.
Okay.
So we've got 3 of his wines here as well. He does a Chenin Blanc, a Grenache, and Equilibrium, which is it's a blend.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more different than what we do, but we like to support everyone.
Just something I wanted to know about your weddings is if somebody has a wedding or event there, are they obliged to buy your wines or can they bring their own? How does that work?
We would obviously like them to rather drink our wines because we don't make our own MCC. We normally tell the guests that they can bring in their own MCC, but yeah, I think rather, stick to drinking our wines. Then you'll appreciate the beauty a little bit more.
You've got a beautiful setting there right at the end of that road. Yeah, it's just wonderful. You also have this breakfast special you're doing at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, we decided to bring breakfast in. It's only 5 items, so it's not your normal large menu that you would find at other places. I decided to go try and please everyone. So we've got a health breakfast, which is obviously your granola, yogurt, fruits that are on season, nuts and honey. And then one of the chefs here makes a mean mealie pop. So we put that on with roasted nuts and honey.
That's interesting.
Then we've got your basics. Everyone requested an eggs Benedict, but we serve it with a bacon jam that we make ourselves and a truffle hollandaise. Then the avocado and hummus toast. We top it with a little bit of dukkha, a soft-boiled egg. I mean, how can you go wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually do a bread basket as well, which is 3 or 4 different types of bread with some butter. There's jam, there's honey, there's cheese, and you can create your own breakfast from there.
Well, I saw your breakfast is from Wednesdays. Are you guys closed on Mondays and Tuesdays?
Yes, for now, yeah.
Okay, so this is not regular. Is this for this season something different, or how does it usually work?
Normally, we in season time we are open from Tuesdays to Sundays, but for now we're still keeping it closed for Mondays and Tuesdays and only opening up from Wednesdays.
I also saw that you're launching new summer menus soon. Can you share a little bit about that, or is it just?
Yeah, we started last week.
Oh, so it's already open.
It's already on the go.
Yeah.
So we've done the teething, and hopefully from next week on it's just going to go better. But this time we decided, because of the pandemic and you can't really leave the country, we decided to bring the world to you. Mm-hmm. So we've got a little bit of Italy, there is Mexican, there's Asian, there is South African with the Cape Malay snook croquettes, and we've got a milk tart, an Eton mess, which is UK, baklava, which is Greek. So we try to bring a little bit of the outside world in again.
So come to Haskell and eat your way around the world in summer.
Almost like that, yeah.
That's wonderful. And you say this is available. So is this a set menu, or do you eat from, or do you order? How does it work?
Well, we've got, when you come and sit here with us, you can either decide if you want to do 2 plates, 3 plates, and 4 plates. All the portion sizes are anything between 100 to 110 grams. So we don't do starter, mains, and desserts. We just break it up into something cold, which everything on the plate is cold, and then we've got the hot dishes, and then something sweet to end your day off with. But you can decide how you want to eat it. If you want to start with a milk tart and end with a pork belly, it's all up to you how you want to do it.
Oh my word!
So we're not forcing anyone to.
People actually do that.
I've had a couple who have started their lunches with desserts. And I totally understand they want the sweetest part first and then they move to savory. But yeah, we're not limiting anyone to how they want to eat. You get to choose exactly what you feel like and in what order you want the food.
So if somebody wants to come and do this, do they need to book? Or is this something you have to book in advance, or can you just arrive?
For lunch? I would say over weekends, definitely try and make a booking. It does get rather busy on Saturdays and Sundays, but during the week, you're more than welcome to just pop in and come and say hi and have a meal and drink a glass of wine.
That sounds fantastic. The coronavirus, you've mentioned it a little bit, Cornelle, and it's changed a lot of things for everyone. What are you doing at Longtable that's different? Are you having any new plans or anything different going on?
Well, on the wine side, we have joined forces with Susan Stanley's, where if you came to visit us and you are from anywhere in South Africa and you enjoyed the wine or whatever you experienced here, you can get in contact with them and they'll order directly. Well, you can place your order directly with them. Mm-hmm. And then our online shop is up to date. And At Longtable, yeah, we're following all the protocols that was given to us. We wear masks, there's sanitizer. We sanitize the table as soon as you leave. We sanitize the menus. So yeah, I think everyone is doing their bit to keep everyone as safe as possible.
So, are you involved with the deli as well, or just with the restaurant?
The daily as well, yeah.
Okay, so the picnics and everything, that's all part of your thing. So I assume that's mostly over weekends that people actually come for that, right?
Yeah, but you're also more than welcome to come from Wednesdays to Sundays.
Okay, so people can come here at any time.
The picnics, we do ask that they maybe book a day in advance, just for the kitchen to get all the stuff ready.
Okay, okay. Cornelle, what is the most important thing that you've learned from your journey in the restaurant and food business and wine business, of course?
I think for me, it's to keep your carbon footprint as small as possible. Support the locals and just keep it simple. Don't go overboard. We use at the moment Genesis Farm, which is here in Rathby. They're about a kilometer or two away from us. They supply us with most of our fresh stuff, our eggs, chickens, everything like that. And then I've got Abelobi, which is our fish guys, our fishermen, where you directly order from the fishermen what they caught that day, and the money goes straight to them. So we are supporting that area now as well.
That's very interesting. I suppose your international tourists, although there are not many of them at the moment, do they ask about this, about your carbon footprint and stuff like that? Is this something people would ask about?
Some of them do, but with the abalone, as soon as you get the fish, we get a QR code, which you can scan on your phone. That'll give you the name of the fisherman, his method of catching the fish, his boat's name, how long has he been doing it, where he caught the fish, and then obviously the guest can send him a message and say, listen, I just had your Cape Bream at Longtable Restaurant. Thank you very much. So yeah, that is what they are doing.
That's wonderful.
Which would be awesome if all suppliers could start doing that.
So, talking about back to the Corona and your season this year. I mean, it seems to me, I'm just looking from the outside as if there's going to be very few international tourists, although there's quite a few people say they still have bookings and stuff like that. But the way lockdowns and stuff are happening in Europe, it seems that basically we're going to have to focus on the local market. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely. And I can honestly say that from what I've seen is the locals do support, and we actually appreciate each and every person that puts their, if I can say like that, their bums in our seats.
So people from the local people that actually come and visit you whenever they have a chance. That's excellent to hear that. What about people from other provinces? Are people, do you feel like people are actually coming to Cape Town or planning to come to Cape Town maybe over Christmas this year?
I hope they do.
Yeah, well,
We
I
need
hope so
them to
too.
come.
Right? We need them.
Why would you want to stay in Johannesburg if you can be in the winelands?
So well spoken. I mean, if anybody's listening to this, if you haven't booked your Christmas holiday yet, phone Cornelle and make sure you live either stay at Haskell or somewhere very close.
Yeah, no, I think we are hoping, well, I'm sure that the other provinces will be driving this. So I don't think they want to be stuck where they are. And I mean, we need the support.
Do you have an idea yet of what's going to happen over December, January, February next year in terms of international tourism? Do you guys get any input from anywhere that would give you an idea?
Well, I think it's hard to say now that everyone else on that side is going back into lockdown. So a lot of those bookings have been cancelled by the guests themselves. But hopefully, hopefully by January we're all up and running again. I think we're all waiting, just patiently waiting for some good news.
Yeah, that's something that's out of our control. So, Cornelle, I ask everyone in the Winelands need to give us a wine quote. Do you have one?
There's two that I live by.
Okay, cool.
And Robert Fripp is the one. He says, music is the wine that fills the cup of silence.
Oh,
and then I also read somewhere someone saying that wine to me is passion. It's family and friends. It's warmth and heart and generosity of spirit. Wine is art, it is culture. It is the essence of civilization and the art of living. So yeah, that's what I believe.
I'm going to get that one in writing from you. I like that.
I'll share it.
Cornelle, if somebody is sitting and listening and they want to come to the to Haskell or the Longtable, or they want to book their wedding or a corporate event, how do they get hold of you guys?
The easiest would be to send an email to longtable@haskellvineyards.co.za.
Okay.
And Janice, the restaurant manager, will ask all the necessary questions to make that day the perfect day.
Okay, so that is for any corporate events, or for wedding, or for birthday, for everything.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. And also, I suppose all of these things are on your website as well, right?
Yes, no, definitely. You've also got the email address there, info@haskellvineyards.co.za, and then Barbara@haskellvineyards.co.za.
Okay, that's fantastic. Cornelle, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for spending your time. I know you've been busy, but people are always interested to hear all of what's happening and stuff like that. So we appreciate that you're taking the time to do this.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you for supporting our show. If you would like to get more exposure for your business, please have a look at our sponsorship options. Thanks again for supporting About the Winelands. Please follow us on YouTube and on our social media channels. All details and links are in the description.